related to Bitcoin, some big banks are using blockchain technology, which underpins Bitcoin, to operate their own digital pseudo-currency. Peter Smith is the CEO of Blockchain, one of the companies offering a platform for the technology. He joins us live now from London. Peter, thank you so much for being with us. So people hear about blockchain technology, they automatically associate it with Bitcoin, with cryptocurrencies. Beyond cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, what else are the major advantages of blockchain technology?
Well, the technology is fundamentally about being able to execute transactions in a low-trust environment for high value. It's an efficiency technology. But today, really, the only uses of blockchain technology, and certainly where our business is focused, is around digital currency. And we've seen a huge uptick in that over the last half year.
So when you think about the fact that Bitcoin has surged 2,000% over the past year or so, and a lot of people are talking about the fact that, that kind of increase is obviously not sustainable. This is reminiscent of the dot-com bubble. You hear all that and you think what?
I think that we're at a stage in the industry where there's a lot of hype, there's been a lot of growth, and that's, obviously on the side where maybe it is a bubble. On the other hand, you've seen millions and millions of new entrants come into the space. Our own platform is up about 10x in the last quarter. And so I think that there is a lot of real underlying economic activity here. What's challenging anytime you're adopting a new technology is understanding where you are in the adoption cycle. And I think right now things are probably heated, but I'm trying to look at the long curve, a 3 or 4 year curve, and I think that's really where our focus should be.
So in terms of the 3 or 4 year curve, 3 or 4 years from now, just in terms of widespread adoption of cryptocurrencies, you actually believe that central banks around the world will actually hold cryptocurrencies. Which sort of central banks are you talking about? Which sort of governments are you talking about? Because the ECB has already said, not really, not for us. The US obviously is doubtful. So which sort of governments are we talking about here?
Yeah, I highly doubt it would be one of the G3. But I think that you'll see central banks around the world, particularly those in Latin America and Eastern Europe, start to hold digital currency. Kind of by accident, but Bulgaria is one of the largest holders of Bitcoins in the world now. Kind of by accident, but I think you'll start to see it happen intentionally. And I think that'll be one of the biggest shifts in the market over the next year.
I actually spoke with the CEO of Overstock.com, Patrick Byrne, and he basically said that he does not believe in the sustainability and the long-term sustainability of fiat currencies. I want to play you what he said. Take a listen.
We need a sound currency. We need sound. We need so even though Bitcoin, yes, it's had this bubble. Who knows if it was a bubble? Who knows if it's on its way to $100,000 a Bitcoin? I don't know, but I love the idea that we have a form of sound money, whether it be a return to the gold standard, which isn't going to happen, or Bitcoin or some other similar currency.
All right, a return to the gold standard is obviously not going to happen, but just given the popularity of cryptocurrencies, what do you think that means in the long term for fiat currencies like the US dollar?
I think fiat currencies like the US dollar are ultimately a product, and they're much more likely to adopt the sort of underlying innovations around a faster, cheaper, higher velocity money than they are to be replaced. I don't think the dollar is going anywhere in the short term, but what I do think is going to happen is over the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see the total market cap of digital assets and digital currencies go past $1 trillion. And I think that'll be a really interesting development in global finance, but I don't think the dollar or the euro or the pound are in any danger of being replaced in the short or medium term.
So when you hear the likes of JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon saying, Bitcoin is a fraud, anyone who invests in Bitcoin is absolutely crazy, it's not going to last, the bubble's going to burst, what do you think?
Listen, I'm biased. My life's work has been making digital currency easy for people to use, right? But I will say that Jamie is probably the only major bank CEO to not have a Bitcoin investment or a digital currency investment.
All right, Peter Smith, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you sharing your perspective. Peter Smith, CEO of Blockchain, thank you so much.